This copy of Flip Over Frog was provided to us by Coiledspring Games, which if you go to coiledspring.co.uk you can find out a lot more about their company. The review itself was not paid for. Now this little box, and it's a little box because that's my hand, and unless I've got the kind of hand that could pick up buses, it's a small box, and it's Flip Over Frog, and it's by Hub Games. And it's designed by Okabe Takuya, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because at the moment it's one of the games that I seem to keep playing and playing, but not because of its solo stuff, but because of what it brings to the table for everybody who's want to have a shot. So let's take a look, shall we? Yes. The idea couldn't be simpler. I mean, at the beginning of the game, deciding whether you're going to be playing kind of 2 players or up to 4 players, you're going to select one of these discs. At secret, just going to shuffle them up. Nothing in my hands. You're going to select one, and that is going to be your colour frog. That's the colour frog that you are aiming for. So you want to basically have the most frogs of this colour showing at the end of the game, and you win! Yay! How do you do that? Well, during the game, and everybody else gets their own tile, but you have to keep it a secret because secrets in this game are a pretty good thing to do. You see this stack of tiles? What's going to happen is that you are going to end up with 3 of these, and you're going to look at your hand, and you're going to go, oh, there's a snake. Don't know what that is. Oh, look. There's 2 of my tiles, 2 green ones. That is absolutely fantastic. And you are going to place your tile on the board. And there's nothing surrounding this because you're the first tile that's placed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take another tile from the stack. And then that'll take you back up to 3 tiles. You're going to put your hand down. Meanwhile, the other person who's also been dealt 3 tiles, they're going to be looking at theirs. And they're going to be saying, I wonder which one I should go for. Now, for instance, if they had decided, or they had randomly picked that they were actually trying to get as many blue frogs as possible, that's kind of what they're aiming for. But they know that they're the blue frog, but they don't know that you're the green frog. You could be the yellow frog, or you could even be maybe the purple and blue frog, which is the 2-tone colour, which is in some ways my favourite. But we'll get into that another time. The game is called Flip Over Frog. And one of the ways you flip over the frog is by you take your tile, and you'll see these arrows. These arrows are quite important. You've got arrows to the side here. The arrows on my tile are at the corners. So what I'm going to do is, if I place mine here, that tile flips over that frog, because it's at the same. I'm going to flip it over. But that means that frog is now hidden. Now what am I going to do? So what happens is I then select another tile. So now I have now got yellows, 2 yellows and a blue. So we'll go back to our player's turn. They've got a snake. They've got a green frog. They've got a yellow frog. They decide, well, they want the green frog to be back again, but also maybe they want to get rid of the blue guy as well. So there's 2 ways you can get rid of them. What I can do is if I place my tile here, as you can see, it has got the marks in the corner. If I place that down, it's going to flip this over. And that frog becomes a hidden one. However, I have got Mr. Snake. Mr. Snake can do something else. Mr. Snake can cover over one of the frogs that's already there and remove it. Forever. It's gone. There's no way of that coming back. So we're going to do that. The other person, of course, is now a bit disappointed, but they realise, well, they've snaked away the blue. That means maybe they're not blue, which is right, because we're not blue, we're green. So they decide instead, they're going to play this one. Twist it. Because as you know, you can see the marks in the corner. That means you flip the frog diagonally. So play is going to pretty much continue like that as you go, with people putting down tiles, and as they put down tiles they flip. Now when you get into a situation where you've got a hidden tile, as you can see here, it's got a little silhouette of a frog. I see a little silhouette of a frog, but you don't scaramouche in this case. If you want to, if you can, put another frog on top, like that. And what that'll do in this case is it'll flip that one, and it'll flip this one. However, if I then put, say, this one with the corners on, this flipped over one, that'll flip this one, but it doesn't flip it back to nothing. It flips the entire thing. We've now got yellow on both sides. As you go, as you play, you'll be flipping, you'll be placing frogs, you'll be bringing in snakes, and they'll be removing other tiles and then replacing them. And the idea is eventually you will get to the situation where either everybody has ran out of tiles, or all the tiles have been filled up. We're just doing this as random, so let's just see how we get on. I'm going to have a couple here. We've got one left, and as you're going, you're flipping over the tiles. Now we've actually got all the spaces filled. So we go back to original. One of us had green, one of us had blue. What we like to do at the end of the game is we keep these covered until the end, and then then we count to 3 and we flip them over and we show who had who and who won. Now in this case we have got 4 green frogs and we've got 4 blue frogs, which means there's a tie. However, if you'd happened to be the lucky person who'd lucked out on yellow, you would have ended up with 5 yellow frogs, and therefore you would have been the winner. And it plays like that, and it plays again and again like that. And what will happen is sometimes somebody will be beastly devilish and they'll play snake after snake, and then sometimes they'll not play snakes, because if you play a snake, you're basically telling the other players what you've kind of played. But the best thing about this game is that anybody can pick it up. It's a very, very easy premise. It's a very, very easy mechanic. There's only a couple of key things that you need to remember. Is that you can't play a frog directly on another frog. You can only play a frog on a free space or a hidden frog. You can play a snake, but it has to be on a frog that's shown, and that's it. And because it's very, very simple, and because it's very, very simple to set up, I mean, this literally is one of these games that once we're finished, all we're going to do is I'm going to just gather these all up again, I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, and then we're kind of ready to go. But the best thing about Flip Over Frog is that we've played it like 25 times now. We've never ever got tired of it. We've not got tired of it just yet. It's very, very simple to play. It's very, very easy to set up. And the other thing is as well is there's not like a level of mastery in it. It's not a case that tactics will change from match to match and game to game. You're not going to be in the situation where, and this is really, really important, is that you teach a new game to somebody and they instantly get put off the game because the person that's played like maybe 5 games more than you all of a sudden has a huge advantage. It's very, very easy for your older frogs and your little tadpoles to jump in and play the game and feel part of it without feeling you're having to kind of pander to them. It's beautiful, it's colourful. It also, in the kind of the realm of where you've got boxes which are huge behemoths, it's really, really rather tight and small. I mean, in all fairness, this is actually going to fit quite easily and quite nicely on a bookcase to the side, and it's not going to be much thicker than what you would say a good old hardback. It's smart, simple, colourful, fun. We like it an awful lot. It doesn't break the bank. If you wanted to get yourself a copy, it's going to be something which you'll think, well, actually, I feel I get my value for money very, very quickly. So in that case, we have to say that we really recommend Flip Over Frog from Hub Games. I highly encourage you, if you've got, if you're in isolation, if you can't get out anywhere, if you're wanting games to play with somebody else, because it plays quite well in 2s as it plays in 4s, Obviously it doesn't have like a solo variant, but not everything does. So this is Flip Over Frog from Hub Games. My name's Richard. This is We're Not Wizards. Thanks for watching. Remember, stay safe, roll sixes. Until the next time, goodbye.